And we're back. It's time for the Richard Fowler re-up. And we're talking also, we're talking here about Harvey as well. So there's been a lot of controversy around, mega church pastor Joel Osteen and whether or not Lakewood Church was open or not open or closed or not closed or partially open or not open. According to Joel Osteen, there was flooding, but it was always open. We really don't know. But I don't want to focus on Joel and Joel Osteen. But I do want to talk about another story because I think in these moments, right, you find that no matter what people say about certain groups of individuals, you find the best of people. And so this is an interesting story from our friends at Mike.com, and I thought I would share it with you guys here at Fowler Nation. I'll read it to you. So as devastating flooding from Harvey continued around the Houston area on Tuesday, the city's Muslim community was stepping up, turning mosques into 24-hour shelters and bringing diapers, water, and food from their homes. MJ Khan, president of the Islamic Society of Greater Houston, an organization that represents 21 Islamic centers in the area, said in a phone interview on Tuesday that 4 of the ISGH's member mosques are now open and are around-the-clock shelters. And this is what he says in a quote. "This is an obligation and a religious obligation to help others," Khan said. "When you give, you don't give only to your own family. You give to anybody who needs help." Khan explained that when Harvey bared down on Friday, the ISGH had the ideal to offer mosques as shelters to anyone needing refuge. The problem, he explained, was that many of the roads weren't passable. Luckily, Khan said, we had plenty of good networks and communication systems. With just a few phone calls, volunteers began to show up to local mosques with bottled waters, sleeping bags, and supplies. As of Tuesday, Khan said, 4 mosques were operating fully equipped shelters staffed and stocked with local volunteers. In fact, there were so many volunteers from Houston's Muslim community that Khan began to send them to help in city shelters at the Houston Convention Center. Houstonians of all stripes have come to stay in mosques, Khan said, mostly families, some with young or elderly relatives. In one of the mosques, classrooms that are normally part of the school were turned into private rooms for families. He went on to say, scroll down here. He went on to say, in addition to the immediate relief that the shelters are providing, Khan said the aid in the form of money and supplies have been coming in from Muslim organizations from all across the United States. We have truckloads of supplies coming, Khan said. He added the ISGA has put together at least 50 doctors from the Muslim community who have been on call and have been offered to the city of Houston. With even more Harvey-related flooding expected in Houston, the Houston area for coming days, Khan had a message for the rest of the country. We appreciate your sentiments and goodwills, and we especially appreciate your prayers. And for anyone in Houston who needs help, we have mosques all over the greater Houston area. If you have no place to go to your neighborhood mosque. Wow. I didn't think reading that would affect me the way that it did. But that's really powerful. That is some really powerful stuff. And you juxtaposition that to what we've heard from this White House, from what we've heard from elected officials, from the hate that people have spewed about the Muslim faith and the Muslim religion, and to see how these Texans and these Muslims have responded to that hate with love. That is some powerful stuff. 2 weeks ago, I ended the show by a quote by Martin Luther King where he talks about hate can't drive out hate. Only love can do that. And what Khan and what the Muslim community of Houston represent is just that. They say, listen, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what religion we are. It doesn't matter who we pray to. We could pray to Allah. We could pray to Jesus. We could pray to Buddha. But at the end of the day, we're all humans. And we're connected by this thin line called humanity. Thin line. And when you strip away the color and you strip away the things that divide us. If you're pro-choice and you're pro-life, if you're pro-Second Amendment and you're against the Second Amendment, we're human. And so I don't care what you say about my religion. We are here to help. We have doctors. We have places of worship that are willing to open up. We have volunteers. We've got diapers. And we are here to help. And we've got to see these mosques as an example of how we should all be, not just in times of crisis, but every day, all day to each other. Let's put aside the hatred, put aside the differences, put aside the Muslim vitriol that we have and say, hey, listen, at the end of the day, we're all American. We're not all terrorists. We're all American. And we're all in it for each other. And if we're not all in it for each other, we'll all perish together. Seriously, people. So big shout out to Khan, his organization, and all the people in Houston standing up and showing what real love looks like. It's amazing.